What's going on? How y'all doing tonight, man? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. This your first time in here. I'm Coach Jay. I'm a clinically trained hypnotherapist. I hypnotize entrepreneurs. I'm a firm believer that every problem is a thinking problem. I don't care what the problem is. I don't care what the presenting issue is. Thinking gave birth to it. Thinking created it. Okay? I don't care if it's I need more money problem. I need more confidence problem. I need more love. I don't care what the issue is. I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid to talk in front of people. I don't care what the issue is. It is thinking that's creating that issue. And if we fix the thinking, we'll accidentally solve the issue. So many times people are so busy working on the issue that they completely disregard the thinking that created the issue. I tell my clients that you never use willpower to change behavior. You never use willpower to fix a situation. You always use willpower to change your mind. If you change your mind, the situation ain't got no choice but to adjust to this new way of thinking. Every problem is a thinking problem. Every problem is a thinking problem. Every problem is a thinking problem. I don't care if it's a problem in your business. I don't care if it's a problem in your marriage. I don't care if it's a problem in your fitness. I don't care if it's a problem in your health. Thinking. Before it was food on your plate, it was a thought in your mind. Before it was a balance in your bank account, it was a thought in your mind. Before it was anxiety in your body, it was a thought in your mind. Before it was excitement, before it was confidence, it had to be a thought in your mind. Thinking is the only thing that you should be working on. Now, I'm not saying that processes aren't important. If you work in sales, I'm not saying that understanding funnels and understanding conversion and how to move product isn't important. I am saying that you can learn all of that, but if you don't fix the thinking that created the original problem, you'll never be successful. I'm definitely saying that. Another thing that I talk about all the time, I'm not saying that affirmations don't work. I'm just saying that it's much more efficient, quicker ways to get everything that you desire without staring at a vision board and without repeating yourself 10,000 times a day. We're going to be talking about how to rewire your nervous system. We're going to be talking about how to reprogram your mind. We're going to be talking about the importance of thinking and feeling on purpose. You got to get in the habit of telling your thoughts what to think and telling your feelings what to feel. You got to get in the habit of doing that. You got to stop letting reality bully you. Because a lot of your problem is you have learned how to defend yourself physically, but you have not learned how to defend yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually. You live on 3 planes of existence. You got the spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. And most people have no problem defending themselves physically. But spiritually and mentally, they're getting pushed all over the place. You got to start thinking on purpose. You got to start feeling on purpose. You got to start being as intentional in the spiritual and the mental as you are in the physical. Most people completely disregard the spiritual and the mental, and they on the physical giving all of this effort. And that's not going to get it right. If you're going to disregard any of them, you shouldn't disregard none of them because you got essence in all 3. But if you going to disregard one, the mental is not the one to disregard. The spiritual is not the one to disregard. Got to understand, look around. Everything that you see was an idea before it was a thing. This app that we on was an idea before it was an app. This microphone that I'm talking in was an idea before it was a microphone that I could talk in. These headphones on my head were ideas before they were headphones on my head. You got to start appreciating ideas. You got to learn how to get excited about ideas. You got to learn how to value ideas. And when it comes to this whole manifesting thing, hear me and hear me good. You got to realize that the physical thing that you're after is a distraction from the manifestation process. The money is a distraction. The car is a distraction. The house is a distraction. The result is a distraction. You should not be focused on the end goal. You should be focused on what frequency does the end goal reside at. How can I latch onto that frequency now? Not how can I get to the end goal one day. If you get on the frequency, the end goal gonna come looking for you. When you look up the word manifest means to make obvious to the mind. Doesn't mean to hope for it. Doesn't mean to wish for it. It means to make obvious to the mind. So you got to start asking yourself all throughout the day, what am I making obvious to my mind? Am I making it obvious to my mind that things never work out for me? Am I making it obvious to my mind that I'm not good enough? Am I making it obvious to my mind that the gas is too high and the eggs are too high and the tariffs are ruined? If that's what you're making it obvious to your mind, that's what you're going to continue to manifest. So the question that you need to be asking is, what do I need to make obvious to my mind so that I accidentally show up the way that I need to show up, so that I accidentally do the things that I need to do to create this life that I desire? What should I be making obvious to my mind? Stop acting like an accident. You're not an accident. You got purpose. You got purpose. And in order to truly benefit from that purpose, you got to start living on purpose. You got to stop seeing how you feel and decide how you feel. You got to stop seeing how the day is going to go and deciding what type of day you're going to have. You are a creator. You are a creator. And one thing about creators is creators create. Creators don't wait. Creators create. Go ahead and say that. Say, since I'm a creator, I'm done waiting and I'm going to start creating. I'm not going to wait on the economy to shift. I'm not going to wait on a different person to get in the White House. I'm not going to wait on my business to take off. I'm not going to wait on the car to show up in my garage. Since I am a creator and I'm not a waiter, I'm going to create. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. God gave you dominion over the world. God did not give the world dominion over you. Why are you taking orders from the thing that you have dominion over? Make it make sense. Why are you looking out there and letting out there to decide your mood, letting out there decide your temperament when God gave you dominion over that? Would you let your 4-year-old run your household? Would you let your employee run your business? Why are you letting reality dictate how you feel? You're not supposed to be following the bank account. The bank account is supposed to be following you. You're not supposed to be following your credit score. Your credit score is supposed to be following you. You're not supposed to be following the market. The market is supposed to be following you. You gotta understand, your bank account right now is a reflection of the thinking and feeling that you've done up to this point. The number that you see on that scale right now is a result of the thinking and feeling you've done up to that point. The quality of your relationships right now is a result of the thinking and feeling you've done up to this point. You can't wait on the bank account to change and then feel different. You got to feel different, and then the bank account will change. I always tell my athletes, you don't get a trophy and then become a champion. What happened is you become a champion. You become a champion. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start holding yourself to a higher standard. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start going to bed earlier. You're going to accidentally start eating different. You're going to accidentally start holding your teammates accountable. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally get a trophy. But if you waiting on a trophy to become a champion, you'll never get a trophy. You know why? Because trophies don't make champions. Champions make trophies. If you waiting on money to become a millionaire, you'll never become one, because money doesn't make millionaires. Millionaires make money. If you waiting on the business to become successful, so before you become a successful entrepreneur, you'll never be a successful entrepreneur, because businesses don't make successful entrepreneurs. Successful entrepreneurs create businesses. You got to become that thing that you desire now, and you create the result from the personality, from the persona of that. You can't create it from outside of it. You got to become it, then you create it. There are some results in your life that you want to have, but before you have that result, it's some things you got to do. But before you do those things, it's a version of yourself that you got to become. Before you can have a successful business, you got to do the things that a successful entrepreneur would do. But before you do the things that a successful entrepreneur would do, you got to become a successful entrepreneur. What I need you to understand is that becoming doesn't happen out there. Becoming happens in here. I don't get rich out there. I get rich in here. But when I get rich in here, out there has no choice but to reflect those riches back to me. The name of my company is Abundant Living Coaching and Hypnosis. When I first started Abundant Living, my circumstances were not abundant. But what happened is I became abundant in here. The bank account took time to catch up to that. The car took time to catch up to that. The house took time to catch up to that. But once I became abundant in here, the house, the car, the bank account, the relationships, the customers, the calendar had no choice but to reflect that abundance back to me. You got to stop waiting on out there to go first. You are a leader. You are a leader. Welcome to the live. You are a leader. And because you are a leader, guess what? Leaders go first. Leaders go first. So you can't say, hey, Jay, I'll feel rich when the money show up. No, you're going to feel rich and then the money going to show up. Hey, Jay, I'll be a good husband when she start being a good wife. If she the leader, go with it. But if you the leader, you got to go first. Being a leader means go. If you a leader, you can't say, I apologize when they apologize. Leaders go first. I'll change my attitude when my situation change. Leaders go first. I'll come out of this funk when the money show. Leaders go first. So what I need you to decide is, are you a leader or not? And if you're a leader, going first is not negotiable. Leaders go first. So I'm done following the economy. I'm done following the economy. I'm done following the government. I'm done waiting on the algorithm to give me permission to be great. I'm done waiting on my follower count. Jay, my confidence would be there if I had 10,000 followers. You are a leader. Leaders go first. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. If you can't hold it in your head, you can forget about holding it in your hands. If you can think it, you can do it. But if you can feel it, you'll do it on accident. You got to control your focus. You got to start focusing on purpose. You got to start thinking on purpose. And you got to start feeling on purpose. Repeat after me. I'm ready to start focusing on purpose. I'm ready to start thinking on purpose. I'm ready to start feeling on purpose. If you do those three things, I promise you 2026 going to blow your mind. 2026 is going to be one of the best years of your life. You're going to spend the rest of this year learning how to focus on purpose, learning how to think on purpose, and learning how to feel on purpose. You're going to spend the rest of this year learning how to see oak trees where other people see acorns. Look at this. This is not an acorn. This is an oak tree. This is an oak tree. When you become the type of person that can see oak trees where other people see acorns, they're not going to be able to keep up with you. When you become the type of person that can see full-blown business where other people see good ideas, they're not going to be able to keep up with you. When you can become the type of person that can see full-blown adult human where other people see a sperm cell. And when you become the type of person that can see apple trees where other people see apple seeds, they can't keep up with you. You were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. Stop trying to fucking fit in. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and then trying to implement that. They doing this to blow up on TikTok. They doing this to blow up on TikTok. Cool. I need you to figure out what you want, and I need you to start thinking about it so that you can get on the frequency of what you want. I need you to stop spending all of this time thinking about what you don't want. Most people, when they first come into my office or when they first come into my Zoom room and start working with me, they're experts at what they don't want. And that's why they got so much of it. They can tell me all the stories about what they don't want. They got all of this proof about why they don't want it. They know whose fault it is and how long it's been going on. They got all of this information about what they don't want. But when I say, okay, well, what would you rather have? They don't know what they want. And then they wonder why they're not getting it. I was on the phone with a lady. What time is it? 8 o'clock. I was on the phone with a lady about 3 hours ago. She talked for about 10 minutes about what she didn't want. Jay, I got this going on. Got this going on. This is my problem. And this is when it started. I say, cool. If I had a magic wand and I can wave it and change your life, what would you want me to do when I wave that magic wand? And she just was silent. After about 10 seconds of silence, I said, you still there? She said, I'm here, Jay. I just don't know what I want. No wonder you don't got it. You can't get what you want until you know what you want. Think about this. You can't even request an Uber without a destination. You can't request it. You can't just say, hey, send the car. I'll figure it out when I get in the car. Uber not sending you a car until you got a destination. Lyft not even sending you a car until you got a destination. You got to know what you want. Knowing what you don't want is not the same thing as what you would like to have. Imagine if you got in the taxi and the driver said, "Where do you want to go?" You said, "Don't take me to the mall. I hate the mall." Okay, where do you want to go? The mall too expensive. I'm not paying $300 for no one pair of shoes. All those teenagers up there wearing face masks and coats, and it's 108 degrees. I hate the mall. I don't care what you hate. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You can't get what you want until you know what you want. Well, Jay, I don't know what I want. You want me to tell you the easiest way to figure out what you want? Look at what you don't want and ask yourself, what would I rather have? That's the shortcut. Look at what you don't want and say, okay, what would I rather have? But you got to become the type of person that looks at not enough money and say, man, I'd rather have an abundance of money. Man, I'd rather have an abundance of money. Man, I'd rather have the type of money to where I put all my bills on auto pay. Man, I'd rather have the type of money to when I'm in the store, I don't care about the price. I'd rather have the type of money, I don't even know how much gas costs. I just fill it up. I'd rather have the type of money, I just walk in the grocery store and I get what I want and I throw it in the cart. I don't care if it's $500, $800, $900. I want that type of money. When you start focusing on what you want, you're gonna accidentally change the way you feel. Think about it. When you watch a funny movie, do you got to try to laugh or do you just got to watch the movie? When you watch a sad movie, do you got to try to get sad or do you just got to watch the movie? If it's somebody that you think is attractive, if it's somebody that you think is sexy, if you put your attention on that person and let your imagination do just a little bit of work, do you got to try to get aroused or do you just got to focus on that person that you find attractive? I need you to figure out what you want in life. Well, I don't need you to do anything. I don't care what you do, but it behooves you to figure out what you want in life and start focusing on it. I want my business to expand. I want my network to expand my networks. So your job is to figure out how you would feel if that already happened and to start practicing that feeling. The end goal is a distraction. Forget the end goal. The end goal is a distraction. How would I feel if I already had it? Let me sit in that feeling. As I sit in that feeling, I'm going to accidentally start reading different books. As I sit in that feeling, I'm going to accidentally start listening to different podcasts. As I sit in that feeling, I'm going to start finding old conversations bored and I'm going to start finding new conversations. As I sit in that feeling, I'm going to accidentally start sitting in different TikTok lives. As I sit in that feeling, I'm going to accidentally get me a mentor. Because everything that you need to achieve that is under the influence of that feeling. Neville Goddard was not lying when he said feeling is the secret. So I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. Over the years, I've helped hundreds of people quit smoking, lose weight, quit biting their nails. I'm afraid of height, PTSD, anxiety. And the way that I do it is I change the way they think and feel. What's going on, MJ? I change the way they think and feel. I never go after behavior. I don't give a fuck about your behavior because I know from doing what I do that if I change the way I think, if I change the way you think and feel, you'll accidentally change your behavior. But what most people try to do is they try to change behavior. They try to put new habits. They try to put new goals and like tools on top of shitty thinking and shitty feeling. You really can hypnotize people? You can hypnotize people. You're not as good as me, but you can hypnotize people. If you offend somebody, you hypnotized them. You said something, they processed it. As a result of what you said, they're in a different state of mind. That's hypnosis. If I go home and I give my girlfriend some flowers and she said, "Oh, baby, you made my day." I hypnotized her. I did something. She processed it. She's in a different state as a result of something I did. That's hypnosis. Hypnosis is not nearly as complicated as they make it seem. Hypnosis is the point of putting a stimulus in front of the nervous system. If the nervous system bites the stimulus and responds to it, that's hypnosis. It's that simple. So it's hypnosis in alignment with affirmations. Affirmations, when done correctly is a state of hypnosis. Most people don't do affirmations correctly because they don't know the laws of suggestibility. They don't understand the law of reverse action. They don't understand the laws of association. They don't understand that the subconscious mind doesn't negate information. So a lot of people screw themselves with affirmations because they don't understand the art of influencing the subconscious mind. Like so you got to understand things like the subconscious mind doesn't negate information. If I say, hey, y'all, listen to me, really listen to what I'm about to say, okay? I want you to do what I'm about to tell you to do to the best of your ability. Do not, I repeat, do not think about a pink elephant. What happens when you try not to think about a pink elephant? You think about a pink elephant. So MJ, it's not a matter if it will work on you. This is how I view hypnosis. Hypnosis is like a doctor checking your reflexes. The doctor knows where to tap your knee. If the doctor taps your knee in that spot and your knee doesn't kick out, you got a problem. You need that doctor's help way more than you thought you did. If I can't hypnotize you, you need to go see a neurologist. You are a human, which makes you suggestible. And if I'm giving you suggestions and you can't respond to those suggestions. Now, it's a difference if you choosing not to respond to the suggestion. But if you want to respond to that suggestion and you can't, you need help. You have a problem. Something is wrong. Hypnosis is not complicated. It's not some people can be hypnotized and some people can't. Everybody can be hypnotized. If you can't be hypnotized, you can't learn. If you can't be hypnotized, you are retarded. Like something is wrong. Everybody can be hypnotized. Now, you can not give me your attention and not pay attention and not follow along. That's not you can't be hypnotized. That's your choosing not to be hypnotized. Like if you're at the doctor and the doctor tell you to sit on the table and let him tap your knee, if you refuse to sit on the table, it's not that the doctor don't know how to check your reflexes. Your ass refused to sit on the table. Everyone got hypnotized except him. He the devil. So everybody can be hypnotized, but everybody goes into hypnosis differently. Some people respond really well to direct suggestion. Some people respond really well to indirect suggestion. Some people are visual. Some people are kinesthetic. Some people are auditory. Like if I was downtown doing hypnosis, I used to do a lot of entertainment hypnosis. So sometimes I go to like Bishop Arts or Deep Ellum or just downtown Dallas, and I'll start hypnotizing people in the middle of the street. If somebody walk up to me and they say, I don't feel like that shit gonna work on me, they just gave me a lot of information. They don't say I don't think that'll work on me. They don't say I don't see that working on me. They didn't say that I don't sound like it'll work on me. They say I don't feel like that'll work on me. Automatically, I know I'm talking to a kinesthetic person. So the way that I would hypnotize a kinesthetic person is completely different than how I would hypnotize an auditory person. Or the way that I would hypnotize an auditory person is completely different from the way I would hypnotize a visual person. So a good hypnotist, as they're talking to you, they seeing what you do with your eyes. They seeing what you do with your body movements. They seeing the words that you choose to use versus the words that you could have used. And all of that is going into the back of their mind, and they'll alter their approach to hypnotize the person in front of them. Everybody can be hypnotized. You just got to be flexible enough as a hypnotist to figure out their direct doorway to their subconscious mind. Yep. Was you going into a trance and people tell you to do something? You do that all the time. If you go to a comedy show, the comedian, he not saying, okay, it's time to laugh, but he got a pretty good idea of when he expect you to laugh. He's not holding a gun to your head making you laugh, but he's using his words. He's using his emotions. He's using the tone of his voice. He's using pauses. He's using silence. He's using his communicative tool. He's using his ability to communicate to control what you're doing. That's hypnosis. If you go to church and your pastor say, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, and without thinking about it, you say, neighbor, we working on those same principles. If you could watch a sad movie and cry, if you could watch a funny movie and laugh, if you could watch an action movie and get excited, same thing. If somebody can say something to you and offend you, same thing. People with certain mental disorders can't be hypnotized. People with those disorders, they can't be hypnotized. It's just not going to be like a neurotypical person. You got to spend time with that person and reverse engineer their process. I don't care who it is. Everybody can be hypnotized. The way that you hypnotize, you can probably use the same exact approach with a person with ADHD as you would a neurotypical person, but they still can be hypnotized. You just got to be deep enough in your hypnosis bag to be able to meet the person in front of you. You can't try to wrap a person around a process. You got to wrap the process around the person. Yeah, I'm trying to be funny, but I think he has mental issues. His anchor made no sense. So I agree on it. But does that make sense? So if I'm communicating with you, I'm hypnotizing you. Like, hypnosis is not you're getting, well, I'm not going to say it's not that, but hypnosis is bigger than you're getting sleepy. Listen. If you can watch a movie and you get so zoned into that movie that somebody's calling your name beside you and you don't hear them, you just got hypnotized. If you're on the phone with your best friend and you lose track of time and you look at your watch and you say, oh shit, it's been 30 minutes. I got somewhere that's hypnosis. Happiness is a trance. Anger is a trance. Sad is a trance. You're constantly going from one trance to another trance to another trance. Hypnosis isn't just the pocket watch. Hypnosis isn't just the pendulum. Hypnosis is in the music that you like. Highway hypnosis, driving down the highway and zoning out, missing your exit. That's called highway hypnosis. It's hypnosis. Everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody goes into hypnosis at least 6 times a day. Every 90 minutes, the brain cycles out that past information. Every 90 minutes, the brain needs to take a break from reality and it cycles out. You go into hypnosis even when you're not talking to a hypnotist. You don't need a hypnotist to go into hypnosis. A hypnotist is just a person who knows how to use the power of suggestion once you get in hypnosis. But your best friend hypnotizes you. Your partner hypnotizes you. Your children hypnotize you. Like, people ask me all the time, do you hypnotize your girlfriend? Absolutely. And she returns the favor. I wouldn't be with her if she couldn't hypnotize me. I don't want to be with somebody who can't put me in a trance. I want to be with somebody who makes me lose track of time. I want to be with someone who handles me with skill. But yeah, hypnosis is not just the pocket watch. I'm not gonna say that's not an aspect of it, but it's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. But hey, I'm finna get ready to head to the house. I was charging my car and I'm done charging. So I gotta get out of this spot because there's other people waiting. So thank y'all for kicking it with me. If you haven't hit the follow button, you should. I might go live when I get back home. We'll see. I gotta catch a 6 a.m. flight, so I might grab a nap. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how I'm feeling when I make it to the house. Love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's tons of stuff. It's over 700 videos on the YouTube channel. So check that out. Follow me on here, and I'll definitely be back.